All right, what's going on, brothers? Hopefully everything's going good. Hopefully everything's going well for you guys. All right, brothers, we're gonna listen to this woman describe what's going wrong with Kaya, cooking with Kaya. We're gonna listen to it, and I'll let you know. I'll PowerPoint in as she's talking if I agree or disagree. And without further ado, let's get to it. Let's check it out.
Okay, so everybody's saying Cooking with Kylie crying. Where she went wrong, she should have never went to that university. She should have never went to Streamers University. It actually did the exact opposite.
Disagree. Kaya definitely should have went to streaming university. Definitely. Her not going would have been her going to streaming university is not the problem. That was actually a good move for her. As a matter of fact, for any of you brothers and sisters who are participating in that type of profession, that was a good opportunity for you. Why? Because now you can meet people. It's not saying she wouldn't have met some of those guys just doing content, but you can rub shoulders. It's a way of networking. It's not new. That's old, man. Go back to ancient times. It's just a way of networking. They do that all the time, man. They might have a convention of rappers, convention of producers, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? That stuff's been going on since the beginning of time, man. It's a great way to rub shoulders and make those connections, network. And it's not said that she wouldn't have met some of those guys just doing her content, but it's a quicker and easier way. You can get to meet them as opposed to like Cooking with Kyle might have met some of those people maybe 6, 8 months or years down the line before she made those connections. Now it's just a way to making connections and networking. That's all. They still do that every day, man. It's all over the world where they have events and all type of stuff like that. That's all streaming university is. It's just a way to make a connection and network. That's it. Nothing wrong with that, man. So nothing wrong with her going to streaming university. That was actually a good move for her. That's actually a good move. Anybody, that's a good move. It's a way to expand your brand and it's a way to network. So anybody who had that opportunity, you should take it. All right. Long as it don't, long as you ain't doing nothing crazy, you know what I mean, and it's not compromising your morals and values, go right ahead, brother. That's a good thing, brothers and sisters. That's a good thing. It's a way to connect and network. That's nothing new. That go back to the ancient times. People do it all the time. It's just these people are what you would call more famous. They have a name. It's always, and you brothers know I ain't lying. It's always some type of conventions or something going on. You know, all type of stuff. What they got? They got DreamCon. They got all type of crazy stuff. You know all that stuff. It's just a way to network and rub shoulders. So I disagree with on that. Let's go on.
Her. She did not understand why she had her fan base in college. If you watch this. Cause listen, I'm trying to help you out. Listen to me. Listen, I'm gonna put you on. You don't have your fan base because you're pretty. You know how many pretty women is on this app? You have your fan base because you were pretty, but it's what men thought about you. They thought you were wholesome. They thought you were a good girl. They thought you were going to be like this type of girl, like, oh, stay home.
I disagree. I disagree. But there might be some guys like that. I disagree. I never, and I just say this, brothers, for any of you brothers, we'll just go 35 and up. I ain't gonna go for you brothers a little bit younger. I'll give you some grace, but I'll just go 35 and up. If any of you brothers at that age range thought that Kyle would then again, some of you brothers probably don't even care or might not even know it, but for anybody in that age range, I just say thought that cooking with Kyle was a wholesome girl, you fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Kaya never gave me a wholesome vibe. I never thought she was wholesome. I just thought she was a city girl. Her doing what she did didn't surprise or shock me at all. I never got a wholesome vibe off this girl Kaya. None. None. Men always like women cooking for them. Don't get me wrong. There was other women cooking and been doing it. Yeah, I will agree. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think she got famous by for people thinking she was wholesome. I don't think so. And I personally think what blew her up, I could be wrong, but I personally would think it's the women who blew her up. That's what I think. I think the women blew her up. She went viral. I think it was women. You might say, oh, it was the men, it was the men. I believe women blew her up more than men, but we would have to ask Kaya because maybe Kaya know the statistics of who her fan base is, who the majority of her fan base is. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kyra said, Cooking with Kaya said, majority of her fan bases are women. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, I don't think that. But hey, I could be wrong. I don't think no man thought Kaya was wholesome. I never thought she was wholesome. I didn't think she was a bad girl. I just thought she was just a regular city girl. You know, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. But let's go on.
Not be twerking out, at the club with dudes. They don't like none of that.
She was doing it on her videos. What are you talking about? Most men, I ain't gonna say most men, I'll just say men who are aware, they know a woman just showing off her body on social media is a red flag in general. That don't mean she's a bad woman, but you're like, whoa. You understand what I'm saying? She was showing off her body like a lot of women do and twerking on the video. So why wouldn't you think she would twerk at a club? I don't think that was the case, but let's go on.
Here's the thing, and it's not saying you ran through, it's not saying you out there, none of that. But what I'm saying is, what you did is, she made herself just like every other girl. Because think about it, all the men in the comments was like, she this, she wifey, she this. Yeah, because she just seemed wholesome when she was in that house and she was just cooking.
Well, one, like I said, if you thought that she was a wifey material, they say you fell for the banana tailpipe. But also, to give this woman some understanding, you have to also take that with a grain of salt. A lot of guys say that because of looks. You ever heard of guys, man, I'll drink her bathwater. It's only because of looks. They don't know who she really is. They don't know who she is. A lot of guys just say that because the girl look good. That's what they do. I guarantee you, if a lot of these guys actually got to know the girl, they was like, oh man, I'll drink her bathwater, or oh man, I'll wipe her up. A lot of them wouldn't even marry the woman. Oh hell no! Oh no, man! I thought you said you drink a bathwater. Hell no! I won't even drink nothing after her. Shit, I don't even want to be in the same room after her. I guarantee you they would. They just saying that because her looks. And Kaya's not a bad looking girl. And yes, you have other good looking women who are cooking and been doing it before Kaya. True. Right? But it's not because of she's wholesome. It's not because of that. But let's go on.
She should have never went to that streamer's university because I would have never, ever. I'm not about to go around a whole bunch of men for one. And you had a man. See, when them men learned you had a man and you was somewhere else, and then you was like you don't care. And then when she got to talk about he was broke, and she was trying.
That's what messed her up right there. How she emasculated her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Now that's what got her in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? And not just with men. Some women didn't like it neither. Cause I heard some women talking about it like, man, why would you, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's the problem right there with Kaya. But she'll be okay. Cooking with Kaya be all right. I think she'll be okay. But that's the problem. But that don't surprise me enough. For any of you brothers who are surprised that Cooking with Kaya did that, as I would say again, you fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Cooking with Kaya never gave me the assumption that this is a wholesome woman. She just gave me that's another girl who can cook. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, we always like, one of the best cooking women I ever had that I ever dated was what you would call a city girl. She would be the precursor of the girls you see today. Because the modern day woman is nothing new. It's a false. As they say, the modern day woman is a false. They've been around. One of the best cooks one of them. I ain't gonna say one of the best girls I ever dated was who was cooking was a straight up city girl, straight up city girl, as you guys would call them, thoughts or whatever you want, whatever all the stuff you see in girls doing cooking with Kaya. She did it. She did it in her time, and still is doing it. I think. I'm just being real with you, man. I ain't seeing nothing new. And she was a great cook. She was a great cook. So that's nothing new, brothers. I never thought cooking with Kaya was special. She's just a girl who likes to cook, and it's always a good feeling, man. If the girl's problematic, or even if she's a good woman, when a woman cooks for you, that's always a good feeling. Especially if she looks nice, you find her attractive, and she cooks for you. That's always a good feeling for most men. But that don't mean she's wholesome, or that don't mean that's somebody I want to marry.
Oh yeah, she lost about a quarter of her audience right there. You have to know why you have your fan base. That's why she has her fan base. Her fan base was because they thought she was wholesome. They thought she was like a good girl. It's not saying she isn't a good girl, but she should have played that good girl role to the max. I would have never went to no university.
She's not a good girl. That don't mean she's a bad person, but she's not a good girl. She's not somebody that you should wife up. I wouldn't, but hey, many men do. Many men do. Because they go for the looks because she's not a bad looking woman. Many men do. Look at PJ Washington. I mean, but you got guys who are not famous who will do it. But I'm just giving it as an example because he has a name. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just the way it goes. She ain't nobody special. Matter of fact, brothers, nobody is. 99.9% of the people in the world are not special. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because you're relatable. And you can look to people. The wise people can look to other people to see that mistakes they make. Right? Oh, I saw he went through that. I could play it better. And the even wiser ones can look to the past and see those who went through the same thing and be like, oh, I remember, and see what they went through. But I'm not seeing nothing new. I'm seeing reruns. And it was going on before I was even born. I'm seeing reruns. Brothers, I got elder family members, women, who was doing this stuff, what these women are doing today back then. Doing the same thing. It might not just been it might not been as many though. It might not been as widespread as you see today, but doing the same stuff, right? So cooking with Kyle is nothing special. What she didn't surprise me, nor shock me. She started doing better than her man. She thought she was better than him. That's normal. I'm not saying it's right, but I saw that behavior my whole life. I'm serious, man. I seen girls move up at their jobs and stuff, and now all of a sudden, the man they with is he ain't good enough. He ain't making enough money for them. Brothers, that's nothing new, brothers. That's been going on since, shit, I would probably say the beginning of time. Cause it's an old proverb, not in the Bible, but I think it's a book of Ecclesiasticus. I think it says something like a woman who take care of her husband will grow impotent, like disrespectful, something like that. I know I messed it up, but you can look it up. You can Google it. Ecclesiastes, a woman who take care of her husband, something to that effect. So that's not new. That's ancient time. So and it still applies now. Let's go on.
You want to call? First off, you could ask anybody on this app right now who know me. I don't be around no men. I ain't about to be around no group of men. Absolutely not. You gotta be too valuable. The only things that's valuable is hard to get around. I'm not about to be kikiing and joking around a whole bunch of men. You gotta have your own motion, and she had her own motion. You had a whole million of your own followers. You didn't need Streamers University. Not for what her brand was. Her brand is wholesome. I'm gonna take your man. I'm a good girl. I'm this. Basically, she was.
How is that wholesome? I'm gonna take your man. Sound like a side piece, right? That's all Kaya is. That's all Kaya is a side piece. As a lot of these women are. I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them are just side pieces. A lot of them are, man. They just side pieces. They display their behavior, and it shows in their actions. And believe it or not, a lot of times that's how they get treated. Yeah, they might bump shoulders with a lot of men who are famous and got status. They might do. Certain ones. I'm talking about the ones who are famous, got a certain name. Yeah, they probably will. But that's all they'll get. Besides that, they just get what? They just get knocked down. That's it. It's nothing new, brothers. We can go back to what's that lady? I think her name was Peggy something. She was just one. She was just the most famous at that time. It was many more. She talking about in the 20s. She was living this, that type of lifestyle. I'm not saying that's what Kaya going for, but I'm just saying, that's nothing new, man. So you might bump shoulders with some famous guys or men of status, but when you display those type of traits of a side chick, that's usually what you get. Usually, and usually the men who marry you are men you don't respect, or men you can run over, and that's usually that really makes them even more matter. It's a man that they don't respect, and that's usually the guys that will marry them. Usually.
Portraying to be with other women not. You not seeing it, but you didn't show them anything that's any different than the other woman. You at the club or out twerking, dancing with other men, dancing with girls. That is not what no men. They don't want that. They want. Okay.
Well, anyway, I disagree. I guess I disagree. But I hear what she said. I guess she made some good points. But I disagree. I don't think that's the case. I think it's because she emasculated her boyfriend. It's not because she went to Streamer University. That's what's probably got her in trouble. You understand? But that shouldn't be a surprise. And I'm going to bet you it's not a surprise to certain men. She didn't give me. I've never got the wholesome vibe from Cooking with Kaya. Never. I didn't. It's. And I actually would say I know she had a boyfriend, not knocking the young man. He's young. So give him some grace. But if I was in that young, if that young man was under my tutelage, like say my son or nephew or something, I would have warned him about Kaya from the jump. I would have warned him. I mean, what he do is up to him. I would have warned him. Like, hey man, she looks nice, man, but this might not be the girl you want to be chilling with. You know what I'm saying? Any woman on social media showing off her body, that's a red flag in itself, man. It really is. And I'm not knocking guys. I know you got exceptions here and there. And that's cool. You got an exception here and there, cool. But what's the majority is? You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, brothers, that's it. I disagree. I think Cooking with Kai is mad, lost some type of esteem is due to what she did, tried to emasculating her ex-boyfriend. That's it. But she's nothing new. She's nothing special. Many women been doing it before her. Many women will be doing it after her. I guarantee you might find some woman doing it in the next couple of days. Maybe not be famous, but you might catch a video of some woman doing it to her boyfriend who's not even famous or something. Who knows? I'm out. Peace.